Money is rewriting your brain like a virus. It doesn't help you live better. It poisons your happiness, distorts your ethics, and feeds the illusion of control. You think you're in charge? You're not. Money is the largest underground religion of our time. It buys silence, compliance, and even your soul, while you still think you're being smart. This video won't teach you how to get rich. It exposes how money controls you, starting from your very first thought. And if you're truly awake, watch until the end, or walk away before your old beliefs are shattered. Now we peel off the layers of money's mask and your own. The mind hijacked by money, a neural game you can't escape. Money isn't just paper or numbers. It's a biological trigger that lights up the brain like a jackpot. Every time you see a chance to earn or save, your brain's dopamine system explodes in delight. But that joy doesn't last, and that's the trap. You keep coming back like an addict chasing the next fix. Money doesn't make you happy, it makes you crave more. Beneath every financial decision, there's a chemical hunger hijacking your logic and turning your brain into a reward-seeking machine. The thrill you feel during a great deal isn't about the product, it's about how your brain reacts. That rush of saving fools you into thinking you're winning, while your subconscious is being pulled like a puppet. That's why financial decisions often feel emotional, not rational. You're not making a choice, you're responding to a trigger. The problem isn't just in your wallet, it's in your wiring. And unless you know that, you're fighting blind in a game where money already knows your moves. Financial stress isn't always about bad habits. When you're under pressure, your brain switches into survival mode. Logic shuts down and instinct takes over. That's why small financial issues often spiral into bigger disasters. Your brain is reacting to fear, not facts. And every mistake reinforces the stress loop. Eventually, you stop steering your life and start surviving it. At the neural level, money isn't just a tool, it's a program, rewriting how you think, choose, and exist. Financial habits are mind control. What's really shaping you? We're told financial success comes from self-discipline, save smart, budget wisely, invest early. But few people build those habits naturally. Most of them are programmed, from parents, culture, media. You're not making decisions freely. You're reacting to invisible scripts coded into you since childhood. So ask yourself, are you managing your money or just running someone else's algorithm? Automation is sold as a financial solution. Auto-save, auto-invest, auto-budget. Sure, it works, but tools aren't enough if your mindset is broken. Without a personal vision or internal clarity, you're just moving money on autopilot. You're not managing wealth, you're performing routine actions with no awareness. Financial literacy isn't about apps or formulas, it's about consciousness. Until you reclaim your mind, no strategy will save you. Imagine you're following a perfect 50-30-20 formula, but 50% goes to fear, 30% to comparison, and 20% to guilt relief. The math is correct, but the meaning is corrupt. Financial change doesn't start with spreadsheets. It starts with identity. Break your mental reflexes and rewrite your patterns, or stay trapped in cycles you didn't choose. This isn't about money. It's about self-liberation. Money and happiness, the sweet betrayal. We've been sold a myth. More money equals more happiness. But research says otherwise. Beyond a certain point, more money brings less joy and more anxiety. That new purchase feels exciting for a moment, then it fades and you're hungry again. Your brain adjusts to each dopamine hit and starts craving more. That's not growth, it's addiction. Money doesn't nourish happiness, it hijacks it, then holds it hostage. Think back to the last time money truly made you happy. It wasn't the item, it was the freedom, the control. That moment fades fast, but you chase it again. Real joy doesn't come from what you buy, it comes from what you experience. Invest in what expands you. Travel, connection, impact. Science confirms meaning lasts longer than material. The question isn't what can I afford, but what makes me feel alive. And here's the cruel twist. Money fuels comparison. Every time you see someone richer, your brain devalues your life. You begin chasing not what you want, but what others flaunt, and happiness becomes a competitive sport. You don't feel poor, you feel behind. That's not financial planning, that's psychological warfare. You're not missing money, you're missing clarity, and no paycheck can fix that. The illusion of ethics, when money hijacks your moral compass. Money doesn't just buy products, It buys silence, compromise, and sometimes conscience. When financial benefit clashes with ethical integrity, most people flinch. Maybe you don't accept bribes, but do you stay silent when speaking up could cost you? Those tiny choices blur the lines. The issue isn't how rich you are, it's what you're willing to trade to keep your wealth. Morality isn't lost in one big fall. It's slowly eroded by everyday reasonable decisions. In today's financial systems, corruption wears a suit. Vague contracts, profitable but harmful investments, self-serving decisions masked as strategy. When money is the metric, right and wrong become negotiable. And the more money you gain, the more dangerous the illusion becomes. Everyone does it. No, everyone doesn't. But the ones who do often have the loudest voices and the biggest bank accounts. That's not success. That's moral erosion disguised as ambition. There's a paradox. As financial power grows, values often shrink. Wealth gives you freedom, but also the illusion that you're above consequence. You start justifying what you once condemned. It's just business. It's the system. No, it's you. Your compass isn't stolen. It's silenced, choice by choice. The most dangerous lie is thinking money changes the rules. It doesn't. It just reveals whether you'll follow them. The ambition paradox. The more you have, the less you feel. You tell yourself, just a little more, and I'll be fine. But when you get it, a new target appears. This isn't greed, it's conditioning. The brain craves progress but adapts fast. The pleasure of gain fades and desire resets. It's not satisfaction, it's hunger disguised as success. You're not chasing wealth, you're chasing a feeling that money never delivers. This is the paradox of ambition, endless striving with no arrival. From a biological lens, it's called hedonic adaptation. That new car? New house? It thrills you, briefly. Then your brain normalizes it and demands more. The rich feel anxious too. Not because they lack, but because they're addicted to growth without meaning. If you're not aware, you'll stay stuck on a treadmill of accumulation. It's not about how much you have, it's about how you define enough. The solution isn't to kill ambition, but to reroute it. Don't chase more, chase deeper. Instead of asking, what can I get next? Ask, what matters most? Let your goals serve your soul, not your ego. Because if you let money write your desires, you'll spend your life running after shadows. True freedom begins not with what you earn, but with what you no longer need to prove. Culture under the reign of money, when tradition is bought and sold. Money doesn't just shape individuals, it rewrites entire societies. Traditions that were once sacred are now packaged as services with price tags. Weddings, holidays, rituals, they've become luxury products sold by the package. Culture has a new god, transaction. The danger isn't that money is present, it's that it dominates. It rewrites meaning, restructures status, and forces everyone to perform wealth, even when they're drowning in debt. Even language bends to money. Words like success, value, and class are increasingly tied to spending power. A generous person isn't praised for kindness but for baller behavior. A meaningful event isn't judged by feeling but by budget. When all value is monetized, culture becomes a marketplace. And when culture is up for sale, authenticity becomes a rare luxury. If you're not alert, you'll start measuring your life by someone else's price list. Look at social media, likes, fame, attention, all monetizable. Pop culture no longer reflects organic trends, it reflects whoever paid the most. Fashion, music, education, they all follow the dollar. When money directs the script, society becomes a stage. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your life playing roles written by algorithms and ad budgets. Culture isn't dead, it's just been purchased. Evolutionary memory and the financial instinct. In primitive times, survival meant barter. Trading food for tools, protection for resources. That instinct left deep marks in the brain. What has value keeps me alive. When money emerged, it became the simplified symbol of value. Our brains didn't evolve past barter, they adapted it. That's why money feels existential. It's not just finance, it's survival. And your brain treats it like food, shelter, and power combined. Salt, cattle, shells, gold. Money morphed across eras, but in each stage, it anchored security. That's why low bank balances cause panic. Not because you're starving, but because your brain sees it as threat. Money now stands in for opportunity, status, safety. It's not just a currency, it's a survival proxy wired into your limbic system. That's not logic, that's legacy. Even in the digital age, your brain reacts to money like a caveman would to fire. Emotional, urgent, primitive. You celebrate wins, panic over losses, envy others. That's not weakness, it's outdated wiring. You're running ancestral software in a modern economy, and unless you understand that, you'll be controlled by instincts built for hunting, while you're actually trading crypto. Awareness is the upgrade, and survival now means outsmarting your own biology. Psychological traps. When your brain betrays your wallet. Think you're making smart financial decisions? Think again. Your brain is playing a trick called rationalized impulse. Anchoring bias makes you compare everything to the first price you see. Suddenly, $300 feels cheap if the first number was $600. You don't see actual value, you see manipulated difference. The brain isn't seeking truth, it's seeking justification, and the financial world is built to exploit that. Enter the decoy effect. Add a worse option, and suddenly the second one feels irresistible. Your brain falls for the setup, or the endowment effect. You overvalue things just because you own them. These shortcuts aren't flaws, they're energy savers. But in finance, saving brain power often costs real power. You're not being irrational, you're being human. And that's what makes you vulnerable. The solution isn't to eliminate bias, it's to recognize it. Biases can't be removed, but they can be countered with awareness. Financial education isn't just math, it's psychology. The more you know about your mind's traps, the less likely you'll fall into them. You're not fighting banks or markets, you're fighting your own instincts. And that's the battlefield most people never prepare for. Digital money and the new order, the death of tradition. Cash is dying, and it's not a natural death, it's a digital execution. Blockchain doesn't just disrupt banks, it rewires the foundation of trust. You no longer need permission to transact. You need access, code, and the will to step outside traditional systems. Middlemen are dissolving. Institutions are losing grip. In their place rises a decentralized empire where algorithms are law and code is gospel. This isn't just a financial shift, it's a power shift. Digital money doesn't ask who you are, it asks what you hold, and if you can move fast enough to survive the system's collapse. The philosophy behind digital currency isn't efficiency. It's defiance. It questions everything. Who decides value? Who holds power? Why do we need approval to move what we own? Cryptocurrencies are more than volatile assets, they are rebellion encoded into math. Blockchain is not just transparent, it's incorruptible, non-negotiable, and merciless to outdated institutions. This new order replaces faith in people with trust in protocol. You don't get to negotiate with code, it either runs or it breaks you. In this world, ignorance isn't neutral, it's a risk. And hesitation? That's just consent to be ruled by those who understand it better. But revolutions always come with blood. Scams multiply. Markets swing like weapons. Regulation limps behind chaos. The weak lose faster. The uninformed get eaten. But that's the price of autonomy in a borderless economy. The old world offered comfort in exchange for obedience. This new one demands responsibility in exchange for control. So either you learn the language of value in its new digital dialect, or you become financially mute in a world that no longer speaks your currency. The question is no longer, will crypto last? The real question is, will you matter in the world it's creating? Money, the new faith replacing old morality. Money was once a servant, now it acts like a god. In a world where traditional values crumble, honor, truth, sacrifice, money steps in as the new moral compass. It rewards obedience, punishes hesitation, and defines status not by character, but by capital. People no longer ask if something is ethical. They ask if it's profitable. Money doesn't demand loyalty, it demands belief. And that belief grows stronger with every transaction, every viral rags to riches story, every billionaire idolized. You're not just using money, you're worshiping it. And like any unchecked faith, it begins to replace everything else. Look around. Weddings measured by price tags, kindness valued by tax write-offs, philanthropy used as PR. Morality is no longer internal, it's monetized. The wealthy aren't just admired, they're seen as morally superior, simply because they made it. This isn't economics, it's theology with spreadsheets. The poor are blamed, the rich are praised, and virtue is redefined as efficiency. Justice is outsourced to profits. In this system, goodness isn't timeless, it's transactional. The terrifying part? We're not resisting, we're evangelizing it. We spread it, celebrate it, and raise generations to see money not as a tool, but as the only truth. But the real question isn't about money. It's about allegiance. Who or what do you truly serve? Money is not evil, but it's not neutral either. It reflects the soul of its wielder. You can use it to build, to heal, to uplift, or you can let it become your identity. When we center our purpose around accumulation, we risk creating a society that's materially rich but spiritually bankrupt. So step back. Choose values before assets. Decide what you believe before money decides for you. Because in the religion of wealth, the highest cost is often your humanity. Money was never the enemy. The real threat is your silence while it rewires your mind, erodes your ethics, and convinces you it's just a tool. It isn't. It's a mirror and a magnifier. It reveals who you are when no one's watching. So ask yourself, are you using money or is money using you? Audit not just your finances, but your values, your patterns, your loyalties. Because wealth without awareness is just a golden cage, and freedom without clarity is a myth. You don't need to fear money, but you damn well better know exactly what it's doing to you.